Peace, love, and light. Peace, love, and light. Shout out Revolutionary R. Me and her had a dialogue going back and forth in the comments, and she said, Riz, I believe you have the gifting. So when I actually Googled spiritual gifting, this is what came up. Spiritual gift, or charism, plural, charisms, or charismata in Greek, singular, plural, is an endowment or extraordinary power given by the Holy Spirit. Just wanted to put that out there. Shout out Revolutionary R. I'm going to show y'all a few things. Okay, shout out Mavi777. This is from one of his older videos from maybe a week ago. And in this video, all this stuff was falling down in the sky, moving. And I'm going to zoom in on some of the stuff, because people will say, oh, it's just a debris field from Planet X. No such thing. Just going to zoom in real quick on some of this stuff. Move it around. Tons and tons of smaller vessels and then larger vessels, entities and beings. I'll zoom in right here. Pull down some light. Zoom out. Take you to this green mass. Hold it in tight. Yes, folks, this was falling in the sky. Along with all this other activity. Another shot. We're going to zoom into this giant mass right here. Look at the structure and design. Massive. I mean, serious, humongous. Entities, beings, ships, all clunked together, falling down. Look at this being right here. I'll zoom in on him. You can see the horns and antlers on his head. Zoom out. Armadas of craft, small ones and gigantic ones. Zoom in on that green mass. This is a different shot. Let the focus catch up. Crazy stuff, folks. Shout out Mavi777. And we're going to move on. Show you a picture of Anubis, the dog deity. Showed this before on older videos, but we're bringing a lot of stuff back, folks. See his head. See the split in his chest. Giant chest muscles. His arm is extended out. I'll hold that in there tight, folks. I'm going to zoom in close on the face so you can see the eye of the living creature that they call Anubis. See his ear, his eye, his other eye is here, his nose, the dog face. So much detail, you can see nipples on the chest. Zoom that out, hold it in tight. This is an image of the woman, the child, and the man. I put it in black and white so it can come through a little clearer. I'll raise light if need be or pull light down. But this is a solid image of the woman in the flowing robe, the bearded man with a turban on or headdress. You see his knee and you see his funny looking shoe bent. Okay, and they're holding a baby in between them that looks to be wearing like a onesie. I'm going to zoom in on the in-between of them and hold that in tight. The man, the woman, and the child. Here's the child that they're holding. I'm going to zoom in on the bearded man's face. You see his eyeballs, his turban with an insignia in the middle of the headdress, his nostrils, beard. The child or baby-like creature they're holding is right there. Another smaller entity on the lap of the man. Looks to be a bigger child-like creature. And then a woman right here. Here's her face and her black hair flowing. I'll zoom in on her. And zoom out for perspective. Look at the flowiness of the woman's robe. And you can see the man's knee is clearly bent and he's wearing some type of shoe that's bent in the front. And he's sitting in a throne that appears to be like fire. Seeing is believing. Moving on. Anubis again. The dog deity or entity people think is mythology or made up. He is real. I'm just here to show it to you. The dog head, the black eyes, the mask, chest, arm. Zoom in on the eyes again, so there could be no doubt you're looking at a living creature. See the eyes of the dog? The pointed ear. I mean, you can see the canine nose and mouth. Fur coming off the side. I'll hold that in super tight, folks. Zoom out for perspective. Moving on. This is a picture of Lucifer, the devil, Satan, whatever name that is given to this creature. I'm going to zoom in to show you the intensity of the eyes. Pull out to show you the horns, face and mouth. The devil, the bull, the ram, the dragon, whatever name they give to this entity. Moving on. This is the face of a giant entity I caught. Eyes, nose, mouth, beard. Something over the third eye. Pull down some light so it can translate through a little better. Eye, nose, mouth, white beard. Moving on. This is it in the black and white. So it can translate to people whose vision is not so good. Everything I just described, eyes, nose, beard, some type of insignia or stone in the middle of where your pineal gland would be. Moving on. This is Anubis for reference, so that you're seeing this thing is wearing gold, purple, yellows. It's dressed. See? See the collar around his neck? See the colors? Moving on. Let's see what else we got here. Okay. Bear with me, folks. This is Jesus right here, folks. Whether you want to believe it or not, you could best believe a black man with dreadlocks named Jesus lived long ago. And they say, oh, where is his crypt? Where is his tomb? Never would they have a tomb. They chopped this man up, burned him, separated his bones. Either they had them stashed somewhere or buried at sea. Just because a person isn't seen on land with a crypt or a tomb doesn't mean they didn't exist. How about their history was so incredible that they tried to erase the complete remnant of that person? And I'm here to tell you that name Jesus has a lot of power when you have good intentions and a pure heart. When you're not a willing participant in Luciferian religions. When your heart is pure. Because I've been attacked by demonic entities, and that's the first word that will come out of your mouth when you're in trouble is Jesus. So let's not play games, folks. And I'm going to zip that back and forth so you can see the eyes, nose, mouth, the beard, and crown. And trust me, I'm a firm believer in the creator of all things. Everything down here has a purpose. So human vessels can live their judgment, physical pain and torture down here. It's not set up for you to be a guarding or a eating or some type of relaxation or vacation spot. That's what the powers that be have turned it into. The illusion. So you never realize where you truly are is hell. That's why God's son right here has come back to show people that it's real. Seeing is believing. Moving on. I wanted to bring this picture back from the supernatural or spirits of the woods because I wanted to show you this entity's face. He's like a nymph or elf looking being. He's right here. You see him? You see how they're perfectly camouflaged in with the foliage, trees, and grass? Here's his nose. His eye, he's wearing some type of crazy helmet or head garment. And here's his mouth, chin. I'm going to hold that in tight. Pull down some light. And you clearly can see his eye right there. This guy looks like Hermes. Zoom out. You still can see him when you are paying attention or not spiritually blind. You could be out camping in the woods and have so much activity around you, and if you knew what it could do to you, you probably wouldn't be out there. If you really knew what was in the ocean and the seas, you wouldn't swim in it. But these things are not meant to harm you. You can't believe you're just the only life forms, plant, animal, and creature. That's the only thing that's down here. Moving on. This is a giant, massive craft. always shaped like nature, and these smaller craft are going inside of it. I'm going to zoom in and show you. See how this is cracked open like a giant mouth? Because these entities and craft are living and mechanical. And the smaller ships are going into it, like they're docking inside of the mothership. See the craft right there? With all the geometry, detail, and design on it. Going into the bigger craft that's cracked open like a giant mouth. And the end all be all is, I showed this before, we have an entity that's on the back of it that appears to be wearing like a Iron Man suit. Can't make it up, folks. Here he is. Helmet, eyes, and the suit. I'm going to pull that down and let it catch up. You can see the glowing eyes right there. See it? See him? Still see the glowing eyes of the mask at distance. Peace, love, and light. Moving on. And I have another shot right here that's in the black and white. Okay, this is the image of Anubis was here. We have the woman, the child, and the man right there. And we have a mass of giant vector shape and disc shaped objects that's all around it. I'll zoom in on the giant pyramid right here. I'll zoom in on the half of the disc that got cut out of the frame. And if you look close, here's the woman, the child, and the man. And that would be Anubis. I'm going to hold that in. Zoom that back a little bit. Get a little bit grainy. And there they are. I'll rotate this picture to give you a different perspective. Let's see, rotate right. Now the picture is vertical. There's the woman, the child, and the man. You see the throne? Look at the point on the top of it. Like a throne or chair that entity or being is sitting in. You really can see it now. And those that have knowledge know about the fiery throne, what that means or stands for. And they're holding a child, and there's the woman. You can see the blackness of her hair. Let's hold that tight. Zoom out. Still see them. Zoom out. Still see them. And this is where Anubis was. But he's right side up. It's right here. I'm going to flip the picture back, rotate left, and just hold that scene in. Feel free to screenshot all day, folks. Moving on. I'm going to ride this out with this face here. Peace, love, and light. God's son is real. Trust and believe that.